We are within the final 24 hours of the summer transfer window, and Man United is yet to officially unveil Manuel Ugarte as I record this video. Question is, what is going on? Meanwhile, on the plan to bring in the youngster, that is Lucelle, who we got in from Crystal Palace. Where is he? I'll give you an update on that as well. One more opportunity could be awaiting. Sofian Amrabat is not completely shut out. He could be returning to Man United still on deadline day. My name is Webb. Like, share, subscribe as we get into this small talk. Of course, as we do count down to the interesting final hours of the summer transfer window, hoping that United will seal one more opportunity. I'll start it off with, first of all, giving you a beautiful positive update concerning our star striker, the newly anointed number 9 in Rasmus Hojlund, who is back training. Yes, he is back training in the gym, which is a very huge progress after suffering a knock in our preseason game against Arsenal. Just after scoring a goal, Rasmus Hojlund suffered a knock that kept him out for 6 weeks, but he's back now, training on his own in the gym. Soon he will be returning to the grass and later on joining and slotting in to join his teammates. So it's an important first step into the direction we hope it goes on for good, because we don't want him back, and we see exactly what Erik Ten Hag is contemplating doing with Rasmus Hojlund, Joshua Zirkzee, and everyone else fully fit, at least the important players for the senior team. So beautiful progress start. Now let's get into the transfer talk. What's going on? Well, we know that it's a matter of time that we do confirm the signing of Manuel Ugarte. It should be happening before the close of the window, so it's going to be in the next hours. We're going to be seeing that happen. It's a matter of, it's not a doubt. Of course, this is a foreign player. This is a there's processes that have got to be to be done to be undergone for him to be confirmed as a United player, and they're being worked on. It's all going to happen. No worries about that. But what we know, I think what should be more important is whether United are going to seal any more opportunities. Now, I was trying to find out what exactly is going on with Sofian Amrabat, because I don't think we will be entirely satisfied as unveiling only Manuel Ugarte and leave Sofian Amrabat. But the situation with Amrabat, United still hold the interest, and they have been in contact with Fiorentina. The thing though is the deal. PSG complicated the deal for Manuel Ugarte, and United's funds seem to be a bit scanty, if I should say. They are not. They don't seem to have cash. United doesn't seem to have the cash to pay for Sofian Amrabat. So what is being mooted is perhaps trying to come up with a structure, an agreement with Fiorentina that could see Sofian Amrabat return, but United, comes up with a structure that can fit into what they can do for them not to be found on the wrong side of the financial fair play man. So they are still trying to find solutions, and it's still, again, a 50-50. Of course, it's hours away, but a lot can happen in these hours, just as, of course, we know a lot has been happening in the past. So they are just concluding to see whether they can seal this opponent of Sofian Amrabat. So United have not locked or shut the door out on Sofian Amrabat's return. It is trying to be they're trying to find ways of making it happen, because Erik Ten Hag is clear. He wants Amrabat back, and he wants someone to replace Scott McTominay, because you do recall that Manuel Ugarte is not really a replacement of Scott McTominay per se. He's a player on his own, added to the mix, but United need that depth in his position. So without Amrabat, there is not really the depth United will need. United knows they need at least one more midfielder, and Amrabat could be that. If the resources allow, he will come in before the close of the transfer window. So that's one more opportunity we could be, looking out for as Manchester United. A beautiful start. But speaking of Man United, by the way, Facundo Pellistri, our own beloved boy who we just let go of to join Panathinaikos, has got off the mark. He has got well off the mark, as he scored one of the two goals as his Panathinaikos beat Los by 2 goals to nil in the Europa Conference League playoff. So Facundo Pellistri scored a goal in that game, the 62nd minute, the first goal for Panathinaikos. That should be a good, good progress for our player, because again, once a red, always a red. So I think we are, so many of us did love Facundo Pellistri, and we want to see him shine. So it's a good start for him in Greece. Probably it was the best decision. He must have found quick comfort in there for him to be able to score in one of his first games in such a big stage. So that's what's happening now. Someone asked me, I think it was Happy, who asked me about Samuel Lucel. In the next hours, expect progress on Samuel Lucel. Remember, we did snatch him from the praying hands of several clubs, including Borussia Dortmund and the likes. Even Crystal Palace themselves wanted to keep him, but we got this young winger and signed him for Man United. Now, remember, Ineos are working on a double project, an immediate and a long time, a long term. Now, Samuel Lucel is not one of those we speak about enough, like we do about Sekou Kone, and we talk about Chido Obi, who is also being worked on, final steps going on. But Samuel Lucel is an interesting player. He probably even could be a bigger hit than all these youngsters we've worked on. He's an impeccable player, and that's why Man United moved fast to try and to snatch him from the hands of Crystal Palace, from the Eagles. So he's an important player for United, and he too can get a chance in the future to knock on the door of the senior team. What I think is all the youngsters that Man United have signed are all going to be given opportunities into the senior team, slowly introduced into the senior team, because this is what Ineos want to do. They don't just want to talk about a project that doesn't kick off. And if your plan, if you think about it, if the plan of Ineos is to rely on these youngsters in the next few years, the time is now to start them, to start having them test senior football. So that's why, just like you saw Harry Amas, being put on the bench for the senior team, you saw players like Ahmad Diallo, of course, Ganacho, of course, for Kobe Maino, he was a special case, just came and fitted straight into the senior team. I think Sekou Kone, Chido Obi, and Samuel Lucel are all going to be given opportunities on the bench of the senior team in several games. You know that in terms of the creative positions, Lucel can still have space in there because he can be a third option, for example, on the right behind Anthony and Ahmad Diallo. So I think for me, it's a good balance. We are going to see a rare balance. I think Erik ten Hag will certainly rotate his squad several times. I think we are going to see an interesting balance when it comes to to the squads there in terms of senior players and the youngsters that we brought in. Because one of the unique selling points Ineos had to most of these players was the promise to give them opportunities to sniff Premier League football. When there is a gap, there is going to be opportunities in there. This is part of how they convince these players like Chido Obi Martin, players like Sekou Kone himself, and Samuel Lucel to join the Ineos project, because it looks well planned, but also it looks like one that is going to give them those opportunities. So that's how United got the better of the so many clubs that were interested in these players. So it's going to be, again, after, of course, the coming days when we officially confirm these players, when the season goes on, I think Erik ten Hag is going to have a task on his hand to just play around with these kids, even the ones from within, like Toby Collier and Harry Amas. He's going to be tasked to just play with them and balance. Don't sideline them for good just because they're young. Drop them in there, because football today has changed. That 16-year-old players can be important players for a team. We saw how an 18-year-old Kobe was important for United last season. We've seen how Lamine Yamal is very important at 16 for not only Barcelona but even for Spain, the national team. So drop them in there, let the senior players protect them, and build your project around them, so that when the time comes for you to make that transition from the current senior players to these youngsters, it's seamless, because they have tested it. They are not frightened by the stage. They have sniffed on that level, and it's always easy. It's easy for them to slide slowly into it. So for me, it's a beautiful stuff that Man United is doing, and that's how they're handling the next coming seasons at Man United. You love to see it, because Ineos clearly have a plan. That's the importance of having a sporting director, a technical director, and all these guys coming in, because they help the manager to get that continuity right, to get the right players in at the right time, so that we work on our play, on our style, on our performances without pressure, because we've got the players in. But Last things, important things is Manuel Ugarte. Today is the day. Today is Ugarte Day. You can call that, you can lock that in because it's happening, guys. It is happening. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe. I will be back later with more. Cheers.